sometimes people need to go really down to touch the great suffering, and then the great suffering is a factor, this will trigger them to look for a path to get out of the suffering. And then, at that moment, I will be happy, I will be ready to help him. But otherwise, I'm not a preach. I will not preach mindfulness to him. I just practice myself and create conditions, if I can create conditions for those beloved ones, for those I care and I would like to help. But if by themselves they don't look for themselves, then I know I have my limits, and I don't want their suffering to affect me. I will not suffer because they suffer too much. Because if I suffer because they suffer, I will not be helpful. So I need to I know my limits, and still not let their suffering affect me too much. That's the most important. I need to cultivate my own happiness so that I'm ready, not only to help other people and the family, but my happiness, my peace will be the good conditions that I will offer to them when needed. That's my practice. So that helps me to feel in peace, even if I know that those my family they suffer. Thank you.
Hello. Good. So I have a question about one thing that's in the back of my mind for a really long time. I feel like I live in kind of a dual reality. In the first reality, I'm a fully functioning adult, working hard, earning a life, having good friends, and then, just have very clear career goals and stuff. And then on the second reality, I've been observing people around me, and at some point, I just feel like the life of each person is so trivial, and life goes on if they die. And then to one point that I feel like there's no clear point of existence, and then there's a thought in my mind that I'm living. Living is like doing household chores, and then you're just counting down to the day that you die. And then at some point, I feel like, in a second reality, there's no clear missions or visions in life, and why is it existing? And it made me feel like I'm ready to die at any point in time. And during hard time, those feelings was just amplified. And sometimes I feel like it's eating up the first reality. And people say to me that you can try to be more grateful about life, which I do constantly in my first reality. But it doesn't feel that it's changed much on my second reality. And I also feel like I cannot discuss this out loud with anyone, because out there are so many people who are less fortunate than myself, and talking about that, just feeling like I'm a, an ungrateful kind of person. Yeah. So I'm wondering, I'm still cannot making sense of why I have that kind of thoughts and how to really deal with it, because from a logical, objective point of view, you know that you don't want that second realities to become, the main reality, because you have other things as well. Yeah. So that is a really good question. So yesterday was a very strange day. So when I talk with people and when I start getting to know them, I know that my first kind of personality acting out. So basically, I want to get to know you guys. I want to know who you are. What are your story behind this? And then at the same time, I was thinking like, do you ever have the same kind of feelings, or is that me who kind of wondering what's the point of existing at all? And then I find, the first question is so interesting because it's the opposite of my own. Yeah. So I don't know. Right now, I'm feeling like it's still, the first reality that I'm asking the questions.
So maybe I go first. So, actually, I think that when you share about it, I feel that I had that too. In the past, I had that. I really feel that I just live the life of the others. When I stop at the red light, I feel that I am like a robot, just following something, doing something without me. I feel like kind of myself is cut off something. I just like function. I'm functioning well, but inside I feel empty. And I question myself, who am I? What's the meaning of life? If I'm not exist anymore, what's going on? What is me? And I realize that, and I feel like so I'm going to searching the meaning of life, because I don't want my life is just a movie. It's like you watch a movie, and your life is just a movie. And I feel that when I come to the practice, the first feeling that I have is I really feel that I have arrived. It's a dream. Because maybe society say to me that this is the happiness. You have to have a car, you have to have a good job, you have to have the high position. At that point, maybe there's no more fear. You live your life. And at that point, maybe I have something, but I really see that I'm not living. I just kind of too empty inside. And I don't know what is the meaning of life. And when I arrived in the club village in Vietnam, I see just breathing in and breathing out, I really feel that, wow, this is a feeling that I'm alive. I feel the home is really home when I can be with myself. I feel this touched me so much. And I feel this is the true happiness. It's so simple. You don't need a car to be happy. Maybe you have a car, if you know how to breathe like that, you're much more happy. And I feel that I don't need a holiday to save money to go to holiday to feel happy, because maybe at that holiday I just spend time, spend money to earn happiness, but maybe at that point I'm still worried about the future, or maybe like lost myself in the past. And I really suggest, or that's invitation, that maybe you are holy and you are complete, you are enough. Just go back to yourself, be with the moment and feel that you are alive. In this moment you are alive, and I feel like, wow, such a wonderful thing, and you don't have to search for the meaning of life. Maybe at this level we cannot find. Maybe get down a little bit, touch the earth, and feel that you are not alone. You're connected to the Mother Earth, and you are the manifestation of the flowers maybe there. You are not alone in this lifetime, and maybe what you are doing today, your job, even just brush your teeth, if you can be with yourself, your heart connected with you, and you be, yes.
I don't think that my questions would be around, not being myself. I think in my the first life that I happen to live, I'm happy with it, quite happy with it. I have no issue with it, and I think that because I don't have any missions in life, and then sometimes ago, too many people asking me what is your mission in life, and I was like, I don't have one. I just want to not having any regret by the time that I'm dying. So I do everything that I can at that moment to be ready to die, meaning that doing whatever I want, so that I don't have any issues at all if something happened. So, sorry for making me complicated. So coming back to maybe rephrasing my questions, that I always have in the back of my mind the ideas of, yes, I'm ready to die at any point in time, even though that I'm happy with my life. Is that a wrong thing to have? Or is that a weird thing to have, and how to deal with it? I'm not on the stance of losing myself at any point in time. I'm happy with my life, but at the same time I have that.
So I think like I'm sorry to understand the misunderstood your question.
No.
Yeah. But if you feel you're happy, you feel that your life is complete. In this moment, you feel that you're happy with yourself. You feel that you can be at home with yourself. And you're happy with that. Even maybe the next moment you can die. It's already that where we like destination already, and you don't have to do anything, right? But like Br.Phap Lieu said that the sick people only searching for the doctor when they know that they're sick. And I feel that if we are not sick, why we have to search for the doctor? Maybe we can search for somebody to maintain that happiness. Yeah, so I think if in this moment you will not suffer, so and you know that this moment is normal. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to meet the very deep bottom suffering to be awake. I feel that in this very normal moment, we still can live. And we still can practice, and don't wait for that moment to come. You are normal. So we are normal. If we don't have the big suffering like the other share, we don't have to search for that. And just live your life happily. But adding a little bit more how to maintain the happiness that you have is a practice of mindfulness. So congratulations if you feel that tomorrow you don't afraid of dying. And you know who you are. So that's a good one. You are not something wrong. You are the normal.
On a disclaimer, my life is not that picky, but I just want to make a point that I'm happy. So, yeah, thank you.
Dear family, teachers, my question is about consciousness. Sometimes when we talk about it, there's this differentiation between individual consciousness and collective consciousness. And I find it really hard to kind of understand how those differ. And I think from my own experience, what I see is that there is no individual consciousness. If an individual didn't coexist, it didn't have a collective, then it wouldn't be conscious. Because it doesn't have something to relate to, it doesn't have something to exist with. So, yeah, I just wonder if you could maybe shed some light on these ideas and if there really is a difference between individual and collective consciousness.
Yeah, our teacher used the example of a bus driver. You see, so he has in his bus like a 50%, and so he needs to drive carefully, and his optic nerve. He needs to see to watch very well the road. His optic nerve is his individual optic nerve. But at the same time, his optic nerve will affect also the 50% who are in the bus. If his optic nerve has a problem and he cannot watch well the road, then the 50% in the bus, if there's accident, they will be affected. So that's what we call like individual karma and collective karma. So the optic nerve of the bus driver is his individual karma, we would say, but his individual karma will affect the collective karma if it happens something to his optic nerve. So, like in a community, a nation, so a nation is made of people, and each one of the people of the nation has his individual consciousness. But if there's a lot of anger, of hatred in each one of his individual consciousness, then that could manifest in a policy of the nation, of the government. And so that shows how individual consciousness, if there are a lot of discrimination, a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, then that could manifest as a policy of discrimination, of generating fear, for example. So that shows how individual from the individual that can manifest as a collective. And also, if you put yourself in an environment of anger, of hatred, of craving, then your seeds of craving, of anger, of discrimination could be water also. So that's how the collective can affect the individual. And there's not a clear distinction. There's not a dual, on one side individual and the other side collective. They inter-are. The collective is made of individual and the individual is made of collective. And we cannot imagine that if you are put in a rocket and you are cut out of the galaxy, and there will be the individual there. But still, this individual belongs to the universe, and so cannot split individual consciousness and collective consciousness. Because collective consciousness is made also of the universe, of the trees, of the. You see what I mean? So, but we can change the collective with our own transformation. If we want, that's why Gandhi or other wise men said, peace in oneself, peace in the world. You need to be the change you want to be. So we can practice so that on the individual basis, we can cultivate this inner strength and peace, and we can transform the seeds of discrimination, of hatred in us, and especially as a community, then we will be this community of resilience, so that we can, like a drop of oil, we can spread, we can be an island of mindfulness, of peace, and little by little we can help to change the energy, because it's a question of energy also. You see, like the energy of mindfulness, energy of peace, energy of hatred, energy of anger. You cannot separate the energy really, because they are molecular. So normally, if you go to the molecular physics, you cannot define really the limits in space of the molecule, especially of the electron, of the, we are made of emptiness, right? So that's just my, but for sure, in our Buddhist interpretation of consciousness, our individual consciousness is made of the consciousness of the reptilian. And even before of the